Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about Netflix's mockumentary about Cleopatra. I got the joke from The Big Bang Theory, this mockumentary episode. So, you have seen Westerners talk about this, you may have seen Egyptians talk about this, but I'm none of those above. So, maybe I have something totally different from their viewpoint. Maybe I will say something that will enrich some people. Some people might agree with me, some people might disagree with me. So, I will be talking about 5 main points. First, I will talk about Netflix. Then I will talk about the show's producer, Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. And then the most smartest person of them all, the director of the show, Gharavi. I think that's how we pronounce the name, I think. And then I'll talk about the experts in this documentary. And lastly, I will talk about some historical facts about Cleopatra that might disprove some of these stuff. These facts are actually historically proven facts. So I'll be talking about that. And then you will decide if she's an Egyptian or if she's black or something else. Okay, so that's the main topics. Now let's talk about Netflix. Netflix used to be a streaming platform. Yes, it used to be. Now it's just a platform for some people to push their agenda, mostly left-wing, liberal agenda. They want to be represented. They want inclusiveness. They want diversity. That's all they care about. And in a recent study, Netflix has revealed that 60% of their own shows are female-led. I kind of have an idea about those female, the writers and the producers. You can have an example by looking at Jada Pinkett Smith. I will talk about her. So I think these women, I don't know if we can call them women, these women maybe have the colored hair, have some pronouns, they, them, they, them, I don't know, it's 150 or something pronouns there. Watch it on Piers Morgan, he showed the list of the pronouns from BBC. So maybe they have that. Maybe some of them may actually not be women, some men trying to be women or just pretending to be women to be inclusive, to be represented. Maybe we actually have some women who have, they might have a different view. These people, maybe they are really afraid to talk about it. They don't want to be called a bigot or transphobe. So that's the 60% female lead. Now Netflix doing this kind of stuff, it's not new. Pushing an ideology, making some characters to be gay and lesbian. If there's a need or there's no need, they just want to do it. It has an impact on the story or it doesn't have an impact on the story, they just want to do it because they want to be inclusive. So Netflix race swapping some queen is not the first time because they already done it with Queen Charlotte of Britain. The queen, unlike Cleopatra, we all seen a portrait of Queen Charlotte. That's an actual picture, someone drew the queen, and she was the queen of the Britons. All of Britain's history, there was never a black queen, but still they casted this black actress to play Queen Charlotte. So that's what Netflix is doing. It seems like the British people doesn't care about what they're doing to their history, because Britain may have colonized half of the world, but still they have a well-documented history. But these people don't seem to care about that. And the next thing, Anne Boleyn. They already casted a black actress to represent Anne Boleyn, just like Queen Charlotte. She was a queen of Britain. We have a portrait of that Anne Boleyn, but still, this British people, they don't care about what they're doing to their culture, their history, how they're representing their history. I'm guessing even if they claim to make a documentary about King Arthur, and they will say we made a documentary about King Arthur, and make an Asian guy play King Arthur and an Indian guy play Merlin, and they may get a bit creative with the Knights of the Round Table by being inclusive. They might ask some blue-haired women and some trans people, some gay, some feminists to be the Knights of Round Table just to be inclusive. Even if they do that, the British will drink their tea and say, it's marvelous, isn't it? That's all. They don't care about their history, how they're being represented. I don't think that's the correct way of representing. Maybe that's what they want. That's about Netflix. When it comes to representing, they are doing it forcefully, but especially if they're trying to represent Muslims, I've seen it. It's not my opinion. I also talked with some people. That's what they also feel. When they try to represent Muslims, especially they will cast a teenage girl, because teenagers are easy to manipulate. So they will cast a teenage girl. First season, she will wear a hijab and she will try to go out with friends. The parents will not let her to go out because they will be oppressing her. That's what they are trying to show. And then she will fight, she will be rebellious because oppression. That's what these liberal feminists are trying to show, because they are the one leading the shows. So that's how she will be in the first season, fully covered. She will try to fight with the family, and if they go for a season 2, she will wear a bikini and have sex with a guy. And that's Netflix's way of showing freedom to a Muslim girl. That's Netflix is doing. That's what they're doing when it comes to Muslims. So that's the part about Netflix. So now let's talk about Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, the producer of this show. When I first saw the Oscar slaps, and I thought Will Smith is defending his wife's honor. He's a great guy, and this wife is lucky to have him as a husband. When I saw this trailer, the Netflix trailer, I was doing some research about the producer of this show, Jada Pinkett Smith, and came across two most disgusting stuff. First was the Red Table interview with Jada, her daughter, and the mother, I guess, and the daughter's best friend. In that video, I'll just play it now.
My grandmother taught me about self-pleasuring because she wanted me to know that that pleasure was from me.
Exactly.
She didn't want me to fall into the hands of a man, and if he gave me pleasure, to think that that was him. Yeah. And she taught me at 9.
So you seen it. In that video, she's claiming a grandma taught her how to masturbate when she was 9 years old. If she's 9 years old, that's 1980. I believe nobody will teach a 9 years old. Maybe nowadays they're doing it, the woke parents, but in 1980s, no grandma would teach a 9 years old how to masturbate. This is a freaking lie. This woman just lied to be famous. She wanted people to talk about her. That's what we are still doing, and that's what all the YouTubers they did back in the day. So she wanted to be famous. She wanted to be the talk of the town, because she's been on cinema like Hollywood for 30 years and nothing to show for. People still call her the wife of Will Smith. But she doesn't want that. In that video, she's repeatedly saying she wants her daughter to let everyone know that no man is responsible to please a woman. She's responsible for pleasing herself. She's a feminist, a strong woman. She don't want no man. That's the point of that. To convey that, she lied about the grandma. That's called child abuse. If an old woman teaching a 9 years old about how to masturbate, that's child abuse. That's pedophilia. So this woman lied. And then the next clip, let's watch it. We all seen it, but I still have to put it for this edition, so we all know what kind of a self-centered, narcissistic personality she is. So let's watch that, and we'll be back.
Happen an entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship. Now, in the process, and you and I were also going through a process.
You seen that? She is saying she had an entanglement with a guy half of her age, more than 3 to 5 years older than her son, and she had an entanglement. That means she slept with him. It means she slept with him, and she is telling Will Smith with an attitude. Will Smith never heard about that. She bring him in on her show and humiliated him. After watching that, I'm still thinking, why is this man still with this woman? What's going on there? If some woman is telling you to your face, I was sleeping with another guy and I wanted to let you know that guy still thinks I came with your permission to sleep with him, but it's not what happened. I don't need no man's permission. I'll sleep with whoever I want. And bring him in a talk show and recorded that reaction and everything and put it on the internet. That kind of woman, why is this guy still with this woman? So this woman is a self-centered person. She will do anything to create controversy, and she wanted to be the talk of the town. That's why she's still doing this African queens. Maybe she can actually make some videos about African queens, but she wanted to choose Cleopatra and portray her as a black person just to be the talk of the town, just like what she did with the Red Table, with the masturbation story and the sleeping around story. This person is a narcissistic, self-centered person. So she's the producer of this Netflix show. Next one is the director of the show, Gharavi. She's very smart that she believes in fortune tellers. Just like in the Big Bang Theory, Penny takes Sheldon to a fortune teller and they are telling that kind of stuff. Something like that. This woman went to see a fortune teller. There's an article she wrote about herself, and she has a picture of herself in that article. I'll just show that and see what she's saying. This is a summary of that. She went to see, I'll just link it if not. She went to see a fortune teller, and the fortune teller said, "You are sharing a connection with Cleopatra." And she actually believed this. This woman, born in Iran, Persian woman, and raised in America, brought up in America. She's an American, and this woman, I don't think she ever been to Africa. Maybe if she went, maybe she went for a safari, or she went with the United Nations program. If she ever went, that's the only two reasons she might have gone. But other than that, she has no reason to go to Africa. But this woman is telling the Egyptians to accept their African self, see them as Africans. But the problem is, this Matas doesn't know that Egypt is part of Africa. Egyptians are Africans. She's telling this American woman, is telling the Africans to see themselves as Africans. You can't see smart people like this. These are the ones running Netflix shows. And in her profile, if you search, you'll see the word activist. We all know what that means. She's just like Will Smith's wife, activist. And then we'll talk about the experts. This guy is saying she has my skin, she has the same hair as me. Not me, the guy is saying that. We all watched that in the trailer. Even if this guy had a time machine and say he went and saw Cleopatra herself, I would not believe him because of the reasons I'm going to tell you in the Cleopatra section, because it's historically what's there. So this guy is lying. I don't know what he studied, because I worked with Egyptians and I met Egyptians. So some of them have light skin, some of them have dark skin, but I'm not racist to say this, but I never seen a black Egyptian. Okay, I'm not racist. So this guy claiming that. The special mention, the Genius of the Year award should go to the old lady. She's saying what they taught you in school, forget about that. What they teach you in the textbooks, forget about that. Her grandma told her that Cleopatra was black. What kind of stupidity, special kind of stupidity is that? People spend their lives studying Egyptology, people studying archaeology, people documented history, and she's telling you have to forget about all that just because her grandma told her that Cleopatra was black, and we have to believe that. Just we have to abandon everything, abandon all the Egyptology, abandon all the archaeology, all the history, burn all the history books, recorded history, everything, burn it. Just we will ask from this old lady and grandma. That's it. We have to take their word for that. And these are the experts Netflix just bring in for that documentary. This is nonsense. If you're making sci-fi or fan fiction or even just a fiction about Cleopatra, I don't care. We don't care. You can bring in an alien from Mars and make her the queen, make her Queen Cleopatra. We can bring in an Asian lady and make her play Cleopatra, or you can bring in one of those dyed-hair lesbians and make her play Cleopatra. It will be a different story. But when you claim to be a documentary, it should be historically accurate and it should talk about facts. Not just some old lady saying her grandma told us. We have to believe that. That's stupidity. Anyways, that's about the experts. Now the last part is about Cleopatra herself. So there's a well-documented history. Cleopatra was not Egyptian. She may have ruled Egypt. She didn't rule exactly Egypt. She ruled Ptolemaic Empire. So her father was a general for Alexander the Great. And after the death of Alexander the Great, this guy took over the part. He was a governor. So he took over the part and declared as a kingdom and started ruling that. After that, Cleopatra came to power. We have a lot to talk about Cleopatra. She married the brother and slept with men and that kind of stuff. If we want to talk about that, we should make a different video about that. So let's not go too deep into that subject. So there's the actual sculpture of Cleopatra. During her time, she went to Rome to visit. So they made a sculpture about Cleopatra. So if she, and also she's not Egyptian, she's not African, she's a Greek descendant, Macedonian and Greek descendant. People from Greek are not Egyptians, they are not Africans, they are not black, they're kind of like Caucasians. And if she has a mixture of Macedonian people, I know some Macedonians, they kind of like the Caucasians with blue eyes, some of them are blonde, but they are not black or dark skinned. Even you can say if Cleopatra went in the sun, she might have a brown skin, but Cleopatra, even if she went in the direct sun of that desert area, she might look a bit like she's tanned. She's not going to look black. But also, one more thing, she's not a day-to-day worker. She's the queen. She's an empress. They are claiming she is the most beautiful woman. I don't think she ever went outside in the sun. So your argument about her being black is nothing. Why I am saying all of this? Because Netflix is just pushing their agenda. So if they want to push an agenda, they have to represent, like take the figures of that people to show them in a different way. So nowadays they are just changing all that, and when it comes to India, Sri Lanka, all of that areas, if they want to push their LGBT agenda, they might take one of our kings or the historical figures and they will say we're making a documentary and portray them as one of those agenda, like a trans or a gay or lesbian or one of those things. And these people, the elites, the educated people who are following the Western world will actually support that. And they might try and raise the children believing that whatever the Netflix story is saying, it's true. Because if you repeat a lie again and again, some people might actually believe the lie as the truth. So if you have a Netflix subscription and subscribe from that, if you don't subscribe to my channel, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do subscribe. If you like this content, like my video, and if you have any comments, you can leave them. And I may, if I find it appropriate, I can respond to that. One more thing, this is what people usually say, but I also have to say, because I'm not black, I'm not white, I may look Indian, but I'm not Indian. I work with Africans, I worked with Egyptians, I worked with Caucasians, I worked with Asians, I worked with all kind of people. I actually don't have a problem with someone being gay or trans or lesbian, but when they try to push their agenda on us, we will have to fight back, because if they're being gay or lesbian or bisexual, they are personal. Try not to bring it and push it down everyone else's throat. Bye.